Ladies and gentlemen, on your name, let me welcome actually Dr. Lance Thompson.
Thank you.
Dr. Thompson, welcome over here. It's a pleasure actually and the honor to receive you over here in the Kingdom of Morocco.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you very much. And this first edition actually of the international meeting, because it became a meeting, it's not just actually a forum. Yeah. We became an entire family of forum, I was saying actually, of logistics and of transportation, the African Forum of Logistics and Transportation. And we have the honor to have the high patronage of His Majesty King Mohammed VI for this first edition, so we feel very happy and very honored actually by this blessing.
Yes, and very good outturn from all African countries.
Absolutely.
The room is completely full.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and you saw actually, it's truly actually African. It's
Yeah.
truly African. We don't say that you are from the north, from the south, from the west, from the east. Everybody actually is mixing together. Everybody is believing in this Africa that is coming actually pretty soon.
Yeah.
Absolutely, such a nice atmosphere. So I know you, the people that were with us actually know you very much. I would be very glad actually if you can introduce yourself to our viewers.
Okay, so my name is Lance Thompson. I'm the president of the commission within the UN called UN CEFACT, which is the Center for Trade Facilitation and E-Business. And we're working on recommendations, standards for trade facilitation and e-business.
Very important. I like actually the way how you introduce it. You make it sound actually so easy, while in reality it's such a big challenge, isn't it?
It can be, yes.
Yeah. So the theme actually of this edition, of this first edition, is regarding actually logistics ecosystems. When we speak about an ecosystem, and whenever we speak about logistics and international logistics, automatically we think about standardization and harmonization of the standards. And here you have actually three levels of harmonization. You have the harmonization within the ecosystem, you have the harmonization within the continent, and the international one.
Yeah.
How do you see it?
Standardization is key for any kind of data exchange between countries and even within the same country. So there might be another layer even below, which would be within Morocco or within Senegal. And then once those ecosystems are created nationally, they have to be able to communicate within the region and eventually outside of the region with other countries. So at the UN, we're working trying to coordinate between all the countries, members of the UN. So obviously that represents a lot of African countries, but also Asia, North America, South America, and Europe, and trying to create standards which will correspond and respond to the needs of every country. So not only in Europe, but also here in Morocco or in Senegal, for transit or for bill of lading or
customs house brokerage for
exactly.
Okay, interesting. Well, we all know actually that there is some local specificities. You know, when you are talking about even actually in big markets such as the US, East Coast is in the West Coast, inland transportation isn't actually maritime transportation, etc. But here, my focus will be more into Africa. Don't you think actually that before applying international standards, and here you are the expert, and you have the legitimate authority.
Thank you.
So I'm just actually thinking, wouldn't it be useful if we adopted first phase some kind actually of local African actually standards that we can parameter or harmonize with the international ones? What do you think?
Honestly, I would think that it's the other way around. You should try to look at the standards that exist already, which ones might be the most adapted for your needs. Okay. It might be within the UN, it might be with the WCO, the World Customs Organization, or with other organizations, and then try to work with those organizations to adapt them and enhance them so that they will take into account the specificities of the region and of the continent. Because if you don't, if countries will start making a national system and then a regional system, and then afterwards try to adapt it to the international system, very likely there will be a lot of things that will have to change regionally or nationally in order to adapt into the international structure.
Indeed. So what you are suggesting actually is a global and international frame, and then adapt it actually following the local flexibilities and
exactly, and come to the international organizations to explain what are the needs and how it must evolve in order to correspond.
Within those organizations.
Exactly.
I have the feeling that many of our countries here in the south were not that active into.
But within UN CEFACT itself, we function with a series of delegations. So every country can have a delegation to UN CEFACT. And within Africa, we only have 3 countries that have official delegations. So South Africa, Nigeria, and Senegal. And I've been discussing a lot with Morocco to try to have Morocco included, but also other countries like Ivory Coast, Benin, Congo.
It's a real true gateways actually for their sub-regions, absolutely.
Exactly, and it's through those delegations at the UN that we're able to take into account all of the specificities and needs of the region and of the countries themselves.
I like your approach. I like your approach. You convinced me actually. So.
Thank you. Hopefully I'm convincing some other countries as well to join.
My pleasure. One very last question. You are here in Morocco. You heard people believing in Africa. I personally am a true believer in Africa. I live in four continents, but I believe a lot in this one. This is mine. What are the next steps, in your opinion, that Morocco, that Africa should take actually in order to make actually these beliefs become reality, make this continent actually walk its way toward actually emergence and achieving its citizens' aspiration?
Well, I'm more of an observer. Unfortunately, I'm not part of the continent. I have much pleasure coming and visiting quite often. But in my humble opinion, everything is moving in the correct direction right now. During the past 2 days, I've heard quite a lot of political will. And the political will to create that structure is vital. Without that, there can be companies or even agencies that will work with each other, but the political will at a higher level has to be there in order to make it work. So as long as that continues on that thread, hopefully it should continue on that on this momentum. And I look forward to seeing how it will evolve in the near future.
I believe on this too. Actually, we have the chance of being from a country where the king, the head actually of the state, believe a lot in this African continent and believe in this sorts of cooperation. So I hope actually to see you in the next editions.
Me too.
Doctor.
Thank you very much.
To see together the progress that would have been achieved.
Excellent. Look forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.